What's up, you guys? Welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today we're going to count down the top 5 Riddlers in Heroclix since the Batman was so good. So riddle me this, what's your favorite Riddler? Make sure to let me know in the comments, but without further ado, let's get to the list. Alright, so coming in at number 5 for the Riddler is the Riddler from Arkham Asylum. I don't actually have it, but this is the same sculpt on Edward Nygma. But anyway, we'll take a look at what he can do. I'll just post it on screen here. So he has this special attack power called Riddle Me This that says the Riddler can use Incapacitate. He can use it normally or as a free action, targeting a single opposing character if he has been given and will take no other free actions this turn. When he uses Incapacitate as a free action and successfully hits a target, choose a number from 1 to 6 and roll 2d6. If the chosen number comes up on either die, Incapacitate resolves normally. If the chosen number comes up on both die, give the target 2 action tokens if it has 0 action tokens. And you might be able to hear we've got the thematic thunder and rain in the background here. But yeah, so that's a really cool special attack power. It's pretty wordy and kind of confusing, but basically, he can free incap one person and potentially give them 2 action tokens. So that's cool. You can like carry him up and try to use the free incap. Only thing that kind of sucks is you can't use any other free actions in the turn, so he can't use his damage power, which is amazing because it gives him Outwit and Perplex. And when the Riddler uses Perplex, he can only modify a combat value other than damage of an opposing character by -2. So a -2 Perplex for your opponents and an Outwit. On top of, having Stealth and Mastermind to keep him safe is great. And he's got normally a double target incap with a 6 range, or you get the free incap on one person. So all that is great. 90 points is a little expensive for just a good support character, but for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 5. All right, and coming in at number 4, we have the actual Edward Nygma we were just looking at. So same sculpt. But we'll take a look at what this one can do. He's got this awesome defense power that gives him Enhancement and Mastermind. And when an action token would be given to a character adjacent to Edward Nygma, you can instead give it to Edward Nygma and roll a d6. On a result of 1, deal 1 unavoidable damage to the adjacent character. So as long as you don't roll a 1, this is great. You can have your main attacker sit next to him and just be, attacking constantly. Just give Edward Nygma the token. And he also has Enhancement to pump up the damage for that as well. And if they try to hit Nygma, you can Mastermind it onto your bigger guy if you need to. Only 60 points. He also has Batman enemy team ability there. And he gets some Perplex later. So we'll just take a quick click through his dial here. He starts with 10 attack incap, 17 defense with that Enhancement Mastermind power there, and 2 damage with some Outwit. So he can also be outwitting things. Then he gets some Perplex there. And just regular Mastermind, and then he eventually KOs. So yeah, this was a pretty hard to turn one. But yeah, so he's really cool. I like him a lot. He does some very interesting things for only 60 points. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 4. Coming in at number 3, again, I don't have this one, but I have the same sculpt again. So this is going to be the Prime Riddler from Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. So this guy's only 69 points, which is pretty nice. He's got the Calculator team ability, 6 range. He starts with this trait that says, Edward Nygma ignores hindering terrain when drawing lines of fire to characters who didn't move during their last turn. So if people are just trying to chill in stealth, he can, see them, which is pretty awesome. Hidden Clues is his special movement power that says Edward Nygma can use Mind Control and Shape Change, and when he uses Mind Control after actions resolve, hit characters are given up to 2 action tokens that don't deal pushing damage, which is great because pushing damage isn't a thing anymore. But yeah, Mind Control is super awesome now, and being able to Mind Control somebody and then give them up to 2 tokens is just super powerful. He also has a barrier and probability control to start off with on his dial, and later on, at the end of his dial, he gets a couple clicks of a special attack power. Opposing characters within line of fire can't use Shape Change, the Alter Ego, or Morph powers or abilities. So Alter Ego and Morph aren't really a thing anymore, but still the Shape Change shutoff is great. If he started with that on his attack power, this could bump him up to number 2 or number 1. But as is, I still like him a lot. The barrier, the prob, the super mind control that gives action tokens is great. So for only 69 points, for all those reasons, he's coming in at number 3. And once again, coming in at number 2, we have the same sculpt as the last one, the Riddler. This one's the regular unique version, not the Prime. So I like this one a little bit better than the Prime. He's got this trait that says the Riddler can use Perplex regardless of range and line of fire, but can only target opposing characters, which is really annoying. You know, you sit this guy back in your starting area and just perplex down your opponent's attack and defense or whatever from across the map. He starts out with stealth too, so he can just sit in stealth and hide. He's got super senses and shape change, so even if you do get up on him, he's really annoying to hit. He's got some smoke cloud if he needs to, you know, throw out some smoke besides just perplexing things. And, you know, he's not really much of an attacker, but he does some very interesting things. He's only 55 points, so he's actually the cheapest Riddler on the list so far. And just that map-wide perplex for your opposing characters. I knew a guy that actually played the heck out of this Riddler, literally found a way to incorporate him into every team build somehow. And yeah, I had to deal with getting my attack or defense or whatever perplexed down constantly. And it is so annoying. But very, very solid figure, even in today's game, I think. And as always, before we get to our number one pick, we've got a few honorable mentions to take a look at here. So starting us off, we've got Enigma. So the Riddler before he became the Riddler. This is from the Batman Arkham City, or was it Arkham Origins video game set? Yeah, I think it's Arkham Origins. And we'll take a look at his card here. He starts with a trait that says Enigma can use Outwit. If he has KO'd an opposing character this game, when he uses Outwit, he can also use Perplex, but only to target the same character. So very unlikely he's going to KO anything, but if he does, pretty nice to get the Perplex. But traded Outwit is always good. Yeah, like I said, 90 points. He's got this special damage power. He can use probability control, and when he does, and it isn't your turn, if the final attack roll is unsuccessful, give the attacker an action token. That's actually a pretty great, you know, probability control kind of power to have. He also has Stealth and Mastermind to keep him defended. He's got some Precision Strike, 6 range, 10 attack, 2 damage, so he can definitely make attacks and try to get the KO on somebody. You know, get some incap there with only an 8 attack, though. In my opinion, too much for 90 points, but the traded Outwit and that cool probability control are pretty good powers to have. And up next here, we have the Riddler from Batman's Greatest Foes Fast Forces, I think it was called. He's only 50 points. He does some annoying stuff. He's really just kind of hard to deal with. He's got traded shape change. He's got a damage power that when he's attacked, you can choose a number from 1 to 6. If the chosen number appears on either die, modify the attack total by -2. If the chosen number appears on both dice, also decrease the damage dealt to the Riddler by 2. So like I said, just really hard to deal with. You know, traded shape change. He's got super senses as well. Batman ally team ability to help his attack values a little bit. He does have, you know, 3 damage there to start, so he can definitely do some damage. And yeah, just really annoying to hit. I mean, if you say like 5 or 6 or something, you say 6 and they roll 2 6s, well, you know, they get +1 damage for the crit, but they also get -2, so you're still taking 1 less damage. And yeah, it's really annoying to deal with that and the super senses and shape change. Moving on next, though, we've got the Riddler from the animated series. Again, I always love the animated series sculpts. Looks freaking cool how they managed to do all that. So taking a look at what he can do here, he's kind of like the last one we just looked at. So he's got this trait: when the Riddler is attacked, you may guess if the attack roll will be odd or even. If your guess is correct for the finalized attack roll and the attack would hit, he evades the attack instead. So if your guessing game is on point, he'll never be hit. He's only 50 points, you know, sidestep, incap, willpower, some outwit, Batman enemy as well. Nothing too crazy, but, you know, a cheap outwitter that's really annoying to deal with as well. So those are all of our honorable mentions. Without further ado, let's get to our number one pick. Riddle me this, Batman. Who do you think is the number one Riddler? Well, here we go. It's the Riddler from Joker's Wild. This guy is pretty wild, actually. He's got this awesome sculpt with this little detachable present thing. The Clue, it's called. And yeah, I always just called it the present, I don't know. But taking a look at his dial here. So he starts off with this trait that once per turn for all characters with this trait, if a character uses the Batman enemy team ability to replace its attack value with the Riddler's, after actions resolve, that character can use Outwit until your next turn, but only to target one hit target. So, I mean, he has the potential to hand out Outwit to your other characters, which is great. I mean, not good attack values though. You might be able to use the 10. You know, if your other character already has a 10, you might as well replace it, and then if they do hit, you get an outwit. So that doesn't really come up a lot, but it's there. It can be useful. And then he has this amazing trait here, which is the Riddler begins the game with the clue attached. Give the Riddler a free action to either reattach the clue to the Riddler or choose an opposing character within 6 squares in line of fire. Detach the clue and place it in a clear unoccupied square within 6 squares of that character. And when you do, choose a standard power, and the target can't use that power until an opposing character moves into or through a square with the clue, or the clue is reattached to the Riddler. So, very long and wordy there, but basically, he gets to just pop out this clue. Say there's, you know, some opposing character over here. Then you just get to place your clue anywhere within 6 squares of that character, so you can place it like way over there somewhere. And then, you know, them or somebody else on their team has to go out of their way to try and get that so that they can use whatever power you turned off. So, pretty awesome power to have, because it's not outwit, so things that are protected outwit aren't gonna, you know, be affected by that. Or should I say they are gonna be affected by that. There's no way around it because it's not outwit, it just turns off a power. And then he has stealth, combat reflexes, and regular outwit for his whole dial for only 50 points. So not only can he get around protected outwit with his little clue marker, but he can also just outwit things normally, which is great. And I always love the stealth combat reflexes combo. So yeah, 50 points. He can turn off 2 powers a turn for 1 or 2 different characters. He can get past protected outwit. And he's, you know, a nice cheap 50 points. So for all those reasons, he's coming in at my #1 Riddler. Alright, so that does it for another top 5 list. As always, if you enjoyed it, make sure you smash that like button. Let me know in the comments, like I said earlier, what your favorite Riddler is and who you'd like to see in a future top 5 list. And as always, don't forget to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. But if you'd like to help support the channel even more, you can check the links in the description for our Patreon so you can see your name here in the credits, as well as some other great stuff, so check that out. But that's going to do it for this one, so thanks again so much for watching. Until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.